Hello, I'm CJ Ladd. Today I'm going to be sharing my final project for a computer systems class, and our goal was to create a concurrent model that's going to be working with multiple clients and servers. So the project that I decided to create is going to be a productivity hub that's going to be tracking any tasks or habits, and this is going to be accessible from right now. It's only locally on one computer from different clients, as you'll see. I have some stretch goals in the future if we could get it connected with a live cloud server. That way, let's say I want to look at my habits on my laptop, but then I want to go to my desktop and do some manipulation with either the task or the habits from there. So yeah, we'll get straight into the demo here. So I'm going to have 3 terminals here, 2 clients, and then we're going to have 1 server. So let's go from there. All right. So we'll go ahead and start the server. And as you can see, we got the server running right here. And then this is going to be the first client. And then, all right, so I'll go ahead and log in to my account. There we go, login successful. And as you can see, let's go ahead and look at some of the tasks that I've got here. CompSys project, video for comp systems. Okay, then we have various other tasks here. So one really cool thing is that I was able to get to save the data independently, so it's not like you just run it once and you close it and it's gone. So that's nice. Let's say I'd like to complete one of the jeez, and as you can see, incorrect. So there we go. I want to complete. I did finish the project. I haven't fully got the presentation video completed yet. Look at that, task completed, and then we'll go ahead and look at completed tasks. There we go. Okay, let's try and add a new task here. It's going to be buy a new pair of shoes. Description is going to be Nikes, and then due date, no due date, it's going to be optional. But let's say I really want these, I'm going to put it priority high. Okay, so then we can go right here, look at our tasks, and as we see, it's going to be down here, ID number 6. Priority high, status pending, and it doesn't have any due date like these other ones do here. So I unfortunately do not have enough money to buy a new pair of shoes right now, so we can go ahead and delete the task. Jeez. And we're going to click yes, and then we can go back to list all tasks completed, and we don't see anything about any shoes. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the main menu here. We're gonna, let's see, we can look at our habits, right, list all habits, gym 3 times a week, leak code problem daily, reading Bible daily. So you can go through, add a new habit just similar to how I did tasks, and then you can log habit completions, which I'll show. I already read my Bible today. Current streak, I have not done my lead code, and I have not gone to the gym 3 times this week. As we can see, we have different frequencies here, weekly, daily. So let's go. Let's say, for example, I have done my leak code problems today, which I don't think I'll be getting to, unfortunately. There we go, habit log, streak, and then we can go back to here. Look at that, amazing, okay. And then finally, I'll show the summaries. Today's summary, habits to log, we have 1 habit left, 2 tasks to complete. We see here, and there we go, and we can look at this week's summary. There we go. Oops. There we go. And then we can look at statistics. 20% completion rate, pretty good, pretty good. Average streak is 0.7 days. There we go. And then finally, I'll show the concurrency with multiple clients running at once. So there we go. I'll log back in, and I will not be having time to show that the register is working, but I hope you can assume that it works because I was able to log in. So let's say right here, as we can see, we have the two running at the same time. Okay. So I'm gonna create a task once again. And this one is going to be visit my parents. I'm going to visit my parents today, which I once again will not have time to do. And we're going to go ahead and put a due date on this one. And then let's say low priority so we can show the differences there. All right. So we can go back over to the second client and we can go back into the task management. And boom, you see here how we have the minus here. That's a quick indicator of priority if you're just looking at the title. Star, medium, and exclamation mark is going to be, of course, very important. So there we go. We see visit my parents. Let's go ahead and delete that task, and then we'll go ahead and hop over to the other client to show it is deleted. Because I do not have time to do that today, unfortunately. And let's go ahead and list all tasks, and look at that. It's gone. So that is going to be our showing of concurrency. And to make this video quick, I'll stop there. We've covered every important function that this could. The code here, because we don't have too much time left on the clock. We're gonna have three different scripts here. There's gonna be the server, that's the brain behind the scenes, that's handling all the heavy lifting, I guess you could say. And then we have the client here, which is gonna be the user interface and what the user is going to be seeing. So this is basically just various string functions, various functions for formatting, while it's just sending and receiving inputs and outputs from the server that's going to be handling all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. We have standard TCP connections here to prevent any type of corruption, and then here are an example of some of the formatting functions that we're going to be calling these and pretty much all the other functions that we have here. So next we're going to go over the protocol. So this is going to be the bridge between the two, kind of, and it's more of like a helper that goes alongside the server just to clean up anything. So an example is we have the message sending here and receiving. So I was having problems when we weren't doing it in a fixed length, and it would come through maybe like half the message and it would destroy everything. So I had to make it do a fixed length here so that the data remained consistent, and then it was actually, able to go through anything. And then a couple more self-explanatory functions here. Server, this is the brain behind the scenes. A few quick things I'll touch on, just some thread locks to prevent any corruptions. We have another data lock to prevent any overwriting. Typical TCP server sockets right here. And then, okay, here's going to be one of the other bridges, as I was referring to earlier, excuse me. So this is going to be how the server is interacting with the protocol script that I wrote there. So as you can see, we have these different commands that's coming through, and then we're calling process command and many of our other functions here to specify which exactly that we're running through. Login, we have hashed passwords to ensure security. Tasks and habits, they have their own independent structures to ensure easy readability, and also it was much easier for me to work with. So we have those there, and I believe that's all I have time for to cover as far as the code snippets. If you're more interested, I did create many helpful comments here. The that should be pretty self-explanatory, so you could understand what you're looking at there.